I was a poor boy with torn shoes, yet fate sent me to a school of the rich. The walls were shining, the uniforms perfect, and the cars outside looked like gold. But inside those gates, I faced whispers, laughter, and secrets that no one dared to speak. What happened in that school changed my life forever. Watch this story till the end. You will learn English and feel every emotion. Jake had always studied under a broken roof in his small town, but one day a scholarship letter arrived. It said he could join a famous rich school in the city. His mother cried with joy while his father hugged him tightly. Jake packed his old bag, carried his used books, and took the bus early morning. As he reached the huge school gate, he saw shining cars, tall iron gates, and rich students in clean uniforms. He felt small, but also brave. As Jake walked into the classroom, whispers began. A boy named Ryan laughed at his old shoes, and a girl called Emma pointed at his torn bag. Jake sat quietly in the back row, holding his pencil tightly. Then the teacher asked everyone to introduce themselves. When it was Jake's turn, he stood nervously and said, "I am Jake." The class laughed, but one girl named Lily gave him a soft smile, making his heart calmer. At lunchtime, Jake opened his small lunchbox. Inside was a simple sandwich his mother had made. Ryan and his friends mocked him while showing off their expensive meals. Suddenly, Lily came and sat beside him. She shared her orange juice and whispered, "Ignore them, Jake." That moment gave him courage, but just then, Ryan threw a piece of bread at him and the whole cafeteria laughed again. Jake wiped his face and decided not to cry. The next day, Jake arrived early to avoid the bullies. As he walked through the hall, he saw a big notice. A science contest was coming. Jake loved science and dreamed of becoming an inventor. During class, when the teacher asked a tough question, no one answered. Jake raised his hand slowly and explained the answer clearly. The teacher was shocked and praised him, but Ryan's eyes filled with anger as whispers spread that Jake was smart. During sports class, Jake was left alone without a team. Everyone chose partners except him. Suddenly, Lily stepped forward and said, "I'll take Jake." Together they played basketball, and Jake surprised everyone by scoring 2 points. The coach clapped, saying Jake had talent, but after class, Ryan blocked his way and warned, "Stay away from Lily." Jake felt scared, but also determined not to give up. That night, he studied harder with a small lamp. On Friday, the teacher announced the science contest rules. Each student had to make a model. Jake didn't have money for materials, so he collected wires from old machines and wood from broken furniture near his home. His father helped him cut pieces and his mother painted them neatly. Working late into the night, Jake built a small wind-powered car. He carried it carefully to school while Ryan showed off his shiny store-bought robot. The day of the contest arrived. Students displayed their projects on shiny tables. Rich parents came to watch. Jake placed his wind car on the corner, but Ryan and his friends mocked it, calling it trash. Lily, however, stood beside Jake and whispered, "Don't lose hope." When the judges came, Jake blew air onto his car, and to everyone's surprise, it moved smoothly. The crowd clapped, but Ryan pushed his robot forward, trying to steal attention. When the judges asked questions, Jake explained with confidence how his car could help poor villages by saving fuel. The judges looked impressed. Ryan stuttered with his answers, but his friends clapped loudly to cover it. After a tense wait, the head judge announced that Jake had won first prize. Gasps filled the hall. Jake's mother hugged him tightly, while Ryan's face turned red with jealousy. The poor boy had defeated the rich boy for the first time. After the contest, some students began respecting Jake. A few boys asked him how he built the car, and he explained with simple words. But Ryan's anger grew darker. One afternoon, Ryan and his friends trapped Jake near the lockers. They tore his notebook and pushed him hard. Jake fell, hurting his elbow. Lily found him there and rushed to the nurse. Jake whispered, "Why do they hate me so much?" Lily replied, "Because they fear you, Jake." The school principal called Jake and Ryan to his office. The principal warned Ryan for bullying but also reminded Jake to stay strong. Later that week, Jake's photo appeared in the school newsletter with the title, "Scholarship Boy Wins." Everyone saw it, including parents. Some clapped for him, but others whispered that he didn't belong. Jake overheard them and felt a deep pain, yet he promised himself, "I will prove that talent matters more than money." One morning, Jake found a note in his locker. It said, "Go back to where you came from." His hands shook as he read it. Lily saw his pale face and tried to cheer him with a joke, but Jake hid the note in his pocket. That afternoon in class, Emma raised her hand and asked the teacher if poor students could really keep up in rich schools. The room went silent and Jake felt every eye on him. He lowered his head, but inside, he promised himself he would fight harder. Saturday came and the school hosted a charity fair. Jake wanted to help, so he made small paper toys and brought them to sell. People ignored his table at first, going to the fancier stalls. Suddenly, a little girl bought one toy and laughed with joy. Slowly, more children came, and Jake's table became busy. Even a teacher praised his creativity. From the corner, Ryan watched, clenching his fists. Later, he tried to throw water on Jake's stall, but Lily caught him and shouted. On Monday, the teacher asked everyone to read an essay aloud. Jake had written about his village, the small river, and the stars above his home. When he read, his voice shook at first, but soon it filled with passion. The class grew quiet, even Ryan. Emma whispered to her friend, "He speaks with heart." For the first time, Jake saw admiration in their eyes. But when he returned to his seat, he found his pencil case missing. He searched everywhere but couldn't find it. Later, Jake saw Ryan flashing a pencil case that looked like his. Jake walked up and said softly, "That's mine." Ryan smirked. "Prove it." The argument grew louder until the teacher arrived. She checked inside the case and found Jake's name written on the cover. Ryan was embarrassed as the class murmured. For once, Jake didn't feel small. That night at home, his father patted his back and said, "Pride comes not from money but from truth." Jake smiled, feeling stronger. A week later, the school announced a debate competition. Jake hesitated, afraid of speaking in front of everyone. Lily encouraged him, saying, "Your words are powerful." Jake signed up nervously. On stage, Ryan spoke first with loud confidence, but his arguments were shallow. When Jake's turn came, he spoke about dreams, hard work, and fairness. His words touched even the teachers. The audience clapped loudly, and Jake won the debate. Ryan slammed his notes angrily as Jake bowed humbly. After the debate, Emma walked up to Jake and said, "I misjudged you." Her words surprised him. Slowly, more students began greeting him in hallways, but Ryan's hatred grew deeper. One rainy evening, Ryan blocked Jake near the parking lot and tried to push him into a puddle. Suddenly, Lily appeared with an umbrella and shouted, "Stop!" Ryan glared but walked away. Jake looked at her and whispered, "Why do you always help me?" She smiled gently, "Because I see who you are." The school prepared for its annual cultural show. Students had to present something unique. Jake decided to show a play about kindness. He wrote scripts at night with help from his parents. Lily agreed to act in it. When the day came, Jake's play made the audience laugh and cry. Parents clapped loudly. Even the principal praised his talent. Ryan performed a dance with his friends, but few clapped. He left the stage furious, muttering that he would ruin Jake someday. Final exams approached. Jake studied under the weak lamp at night while Ryan used tutors. During one exam, Ryan tried to copy answers from Jake. The teacher noticed and punished Ryan, but Jake stayed quiet. When results came, Jake ranked first in the whole class. His parents cried with pride and Lily hugged him. Ryan dropped to 4th place. Whispers spread through the school that the poor boy had outshone the rich. For Jake, it was not just marks, it was respect earned. Graduation day arrived. Students wore gowns and caps. Jake's family sat in the last row, watching proudly. When the principal called Jake's name for a special award, everyone clapped. Ryan's parents looked disappointed, while Lily's eyes shone with joy. After the ceremony, Jake thanked his teachers and friends. Emma shook his hand, saying, "You taught us something important." Jake smiled, realizing he had not only studied here but also changed hearts. His journey had been painful, but worth it. As Jake walked out of the school gates for the last time, he looked back at the tall buildings. He remembered the whispers, the laughter, the pain, and the small victories. He touched his chest and whispered, "I came here as a poor boy, but I leave with strength." Lily joined him outside and said, "Your story will never be forgotten." Jake nodded with a smile. His journey proved that even in a rich school, a poor boy's light could shine brighter than gold.